All right, on this episode of Bouts Talking Bouts, excited to be talking to an individual who has quite the intriguing fight lined up for Bellator 279. It transpires April the 23rd. We've got a lightweight bout going down between Nainoa Dung and Gibson Jr., and happy to be welcoming Lance back onto the show. How's everything going today here, man?
Everything's going good, nice day in British Columbia, so yeah, everything's all good.
I was going to say, how's the weather out there? I imagine it's going to level up a fair bit when you go to the fight location here, but how are things doing out there now? Things settling into spring a little bit?
A little bit, it's funny because we have honeybees, and it's like the weather's been so inconsistent. They fly generally during sunny days, and yesterday went through like 5 seasons, so it was like, it started off the morning snowing, then it was sunny, then it was hailing, then it was raining, then it was sunny. And the windows of the sun was like 15 minutes, so it's a little bipolar, but we'll be heading to Hawaii in the nice warm weather soon, so.
Yeah, weather very tumultuous this time of year in Canada, but speaking of things that are a little more locked in place and consistent, I saw you signed to a new multi-fight agreement with Bellator, so congratulations on that. I imagine you were excited getting that offer and everything.
Absolutely, yeah, I'm been so happy with Bellator. They've treated me amazing, and it's an awesome promotion to fight for.
Yeah, and in terms of this upcoming opponent here, like, have you been doing a certain level? I mean, you've always struck me as a guy that, like, kind of allocates the tape study to the coaches, and then you focus on your individual refinement, but have you checked out anything on your opponent, like Nainoa Dung, like any of his previous Bellator fights, or anything of the sort?
Oh, yeah, I've watched him for a while, since his first fight in Bellator. I've seen him, obviously, another athlete in my division, and an up-and-comer, skilled mixed martial artist. I've watched him for a while, and I've seen his game and how he goes about it. And, yeah, so I've been watching for a while, and my family and my coaches all do a tape study as well, so.
Yeah, and when did you initially get this bout offer here and everything like that? Because, like, we're talking about the whole Hawaii thing and everything like that. I imagine the fight was cool to come across your radar, but I imagine seeing that aspect of it, it's like, oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So, like, when did all of that get going?
Yeah, it kind of happened how it was supposed to happen, I guess. It was like destiny, because I was supposed to be fighting in St. Louis initially. That got pushed back. Then I was supposed to fight in San Jose in this weekend's card. Couldn't make that happen. So then I've been training for a while for this, like, since pretty much the beginning of January, like the beginning of December, pretty much. So I've been training for a while, and then it kind of got all set up, I think, in March or so. No, not March, maybe mid to late February. And yeah, so it's awesome. My dad fought in Hawaii 25 years ago or so, and fought a guy that was literally like probably almost 80 pounds heavier than him. Yeah. So it's pretty cool, because he's well known on the island, and it's pretty cool that I get to go, and now it was like destiny how that fight lined up and got set up for me.
So is your father, Lance Gibson, and also Julia Budd going to be cornering you for this one? Is that sort of the dynamic there?
Yeah. So, yeah, as always, they're in my corner, my family. It's awesome having them there, obviously. And yeah, so I'm excited about that for sure.
And I was curious to ask about this, because I was seeing an article going around circa mid-January where it was saying that, the gym is going to kind of be closed up for the time being, like, seeming like the focus is, Lance Gibson wanting to, like, focus on, the careers of, I mentioned Julia Budd and then also yourself there. Is that kind of the landscape and, like, what's going on there or something like that? Or were my eyes deceiving me a little bit?
No, you're right. We've been running, my dad's run his gym since 1997, so he's been like a long time, and serving in the community, teaching kids, teaching youth, teaching teenagers, all the people in the community, and serving it for a long time, and kind of now we just transitioned to mainly just our fighters and us, like, for our careers, because this is the time to do it. Julia's like finishing up her career, and I'm just getting started, so now we can shift our focus to 100% just us. And before it was having that split mind of obviously having to train the community, then train ourselves, and it was a lot. So now we can really focus on our careers and actually really rock it like we should.
Yeah, so what's like the training camp kind of dynamic like? Because I've seen different videos of yourself and Lance and Julia training and everything like that. Is that mostly what's going on? Like you guys still like working together and curating your camp just in like a bit of a different location?
Yeah, so we have multiple different locations. Our fight team and the entire team, we train with like 95% of the time, and then we get our private training, just us working on real specifics with my dad and Julia at another location where we can really zero in and really focus on everything that we need to do. We got that all set up with mats and everything from Century Martial Arts. So thanks to those guys, they got us geared up and set up in a garage for our mat space and everything. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, and I mean, you've always had like an artistic sort of leaning with martial arts from what I've seen, but it seems like there's a certain level of almost like fervor, like ramping up even additionally ahead of this one. Like just some of the different posts you're putting up and stuff like that, like saying in the one post, like I was built for war for many lifetimes, I was a tactician and everything like that. I mean, is that a fair characterization? Is there almost a compounded sense of intensity for this one? And is what I'm saying kind of, a fair characterization, I guess?
Absolutely. It's like I've done like it how I feel is it's interesting because it feels like fighting isn't challenging to me because it's just in my blood. It's something that's just a part of me. And it's like at the end of the day, when the lights come on and it's time to go, I'm ready. I'm always ready, and I always show up and I always show out. So that's just it's a part of me, and I can't help it. Every time I watch mixed martial arts, I become a tactician. I'm studying and analyzing techniques and picking apart different things. So it's just definitely a part of me. So yeah, it's absolutely for this fight as well.
Well, I would think you'd have like a lifetime of, composure and familiarity with just, all the facets of fighting, like just being in the gym since you were 2 and your dad having to trick you with the Power Rangers to kind of get you there.
Yeah. Exactly. And yeah, there's pictures, videos, all that stuff of me 3 years old doing arm bars, all that stuff. It's been a part of me. There's no denying it, and it was never forced on me. It was just a part of me. It was something that I just did. It was just like going to the park to play. I was doing martial arts.
Do you think there's going to be that certain level of connectivity with your, 2 nephews there? I mean, obviously you want to let kids kind of do their own thing and everything like that, but do you foresee a similar like martial arts mentorship dynamic existing with them?
We'll see. My oldest nephew, Jordan, he's a little goofball, but whenever they ask her, he's probably 2.5 now, or just a little over 2, and they ask him what uncle does, and he starts throwing punches, and he goes, fights. So it's he and then he does my walkout face and all of it. So who knows? I could have a whole crew, all my cousins that have kids as well. So I could have a whole fight team. Who knows?
Yeah, I feel like I kind of flubbed that the last time we were talking, too, because I think the wording in one of the captions, I thought it was like your son, and I'm like, oh, damn, I didn't know Lance had a kid, and then he was like, oh, no, that's my nephew, and I was like, oh, damn, sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, it is what it is. They're basically my son, my kids, because I love them to death, so. And, yeah, my other nephew, and they're actually both going to be there at the fight, so it gives me more reason to do my job to the best of my ability, so.
Oh, cool. Is that the first time they're going to be there, or?
Yeah. So they're going to make it out to Hawaii, and it'll be my youngest nephew's first trip anywhere, and then Jordan will get to my older nephew. He'll be able to come, and he's been to Seahawks games, so he'll be excited to be at my fight for sure.
Well, that's really cool, man. I think that'll be a very interesting component to it. Like, it seems like you guys have a very tight-knit family dynamic, so I imagine something like that would really, like, give you a level of comfortability getting out there. I mean, you seem like very comfortable and adaptable anyway, but adding an even additional amount of that, I'd think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, it's exciting for sure. I can't wait.
Yeah, and it seems like you've been keeping up with certain like outdoor activities when, you know, permitted, obviously, like obviously focused on the training and everything like that, but it seems like you've been active with like the fishing and stuff like that lately. Like, what have you've been getting up to on the wildlife end of things? It seems like a certain level of hunting has happened too.
Yeah, so got to go hunting after the last fight, and it didn't quite pan out fully how I wanted it to, but because it's hunting, you're not gonna always get something, but it's challenging too. And then since that, obviously, our beekeeping, we got our chickens, so our chickens are laying like ridiculous amounts of eggs a day, like 14 or 15 eggs a day. So we're getting tons of eggs and storing those, and then so it's been quite awesome. We did some snowshoeing, tons of different stuff. Obviously, fishing. Haven't been out as much when it comes to fishing because they kind of closed our fishing due to regulations and whatnot. But kind of in the heart of the winter, we were able to get out and catch a few salmon, so that was nice. Had a few good dinners from that. But so far in our beekeeping, obviously on our property, which is awesome. They all survive the winter because what they do is they hibernate over the winter. They just cluster up and try not to freeze to death. So it was kind of cool because all of our hives survived. So that was a plus. And on the outdoor spectrum, everything's going good and spring's kicking in. So things are really going to be ramping up. And obviously for the next hunting and fishing season, I'm ready to go. So.
Yeah, I'm always curious about the beekeeping whenever we talk. Do you feel like you're at that blue belt level in beekeeping as of yet, or where would you say you're at in the know-how?
I feel, it's something that you're always going to be learning because stuff can always go wrong. So it's like I feel like I'm definitely getting there for sure. I would say I'm at a purple belt. But there's no guarantees that I actually am. I could think I'm a purple belt and not actually be, but I feel like I'm there.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm a spazzy white belt with the beekeeping, so you got a fair bit on me.
Yeah. I'm still a little bit afraid of getting stung. Julia is a lot better. She can, but I don't like getting stung. Since I got stung in my face last year, I'm kind of done.
Yeah, I was going to say, where does that...
My protective gear on every single time I'm dealing with them now because it's not fun getting stung in your face.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, you already have a career where you're getting, like, punched in the face. You probably don't want facial pain in your hobbies and stuff.
Yeah. Getting stung hurts way more than getting punched in the face. That's for sure. And there's a lot more repercussions for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's great. But always fun getting to talk to you, man. I don't want to be too greedy. I imagine other people are wanting to get some insights from you as well. But yeah, like I said, to reiterate, fun always getting to talk. But is there anything you want to add maybe as a parting thought as we're wrapping up here, Lance?
I'm just happy to be able to do what I love the most. It's an honor to be able to fight for Bellator MMA. They've treated me with such respect. I love the organization that I fight for, and I love my team. I can't wait to get out there on April 23rd, dominate like I always do. I show up and do my job. I'm not a big talker about what I'm going to do, but obviously by my actions, you can see everybody knows what I'm about. So stay tuned.
Yeah, anyone that's seen you fight can attest to the fact that it's a very exciting, multifaceted style, and seems like you keep growing from fight to fight, and people can check out the next chapter in that story unfurling at Bellator 279, like you said, April 23rd. But yeah, thanks for coming on the show again, man. Always fun chopping it up a bit, and just, best of luck with the remainder of the preparations, and looking forward to peeping the fight too.
Yeah, thank you so much, man. Appreciate your time.